Welcome to the 805 Web Minute, and today we're talking about why the advertised low cost of building a website yourself often ends up being the single most expensive choice for Central Coast business owners.
It really is the ultimate paradox for a business, isn't it?
It seems that way.
You start searching, just trying to get a clear number on what this will cost, and the internet just hits you with this wild range.
No, it's all over the place.
Yeah, you see everything from, $100 all the way up to $100,000, and it's completely useless if you're running a real business here in, say, San Luis Obispo County.
Absolutely. And that's why we wanted to do this deep dive. Our whole mission today isn't just to list prices.
Right.
It's to cut through all that noise and break down what you are actually paying for in 2026. This is about the total cost, not just the sticker price.
And we've seen it firsthand.
We really have. We've been in the trenches, building sites for plumbers, speech therapists, even lumber yards right here on the Central Coast. We get the local reality.
So looking at the source material, we see local business owners really funneling into three traditional paths, and each one has its own, let's call it a financial trap.
Okay, let's start with the big one, the one that gets everyone, the siren song of affordability. Option one, the DIY website builders.
Ah, yes. Wix, Squarespace, you see the ads everywhere.
Everywhere.
And they are brilliant at marketing. They hook you with these crazy low starting prices, $16, $17 a month.
And you think, problem solved.
Exactly. I solved my website for less than my Netflix subscription. But those base plans, they're completely stripped bare. It's a marketing price, not the price you need to actually run your business.
This is where things take a sharp turn. I've talked to so many local owners, a boutique spa in Paso Robles or a financial advisor in Nipomo, and they all thought they were saving a ton of money.
Until they need their website to actually do something. The second you want to handle, say, customer appointments or take payments or even just have a decent form that qualifies leads, you have to jump up 2 or 3 price tiers.
And that's when they get you with their own internal apps.
Precisely. The platform forces you to buy their premium features because integrating anything from the outside is either impossible or just way too complicated. So that $17 plan, it balloons to $55 a month, easy, often more.
And then there are the little things, the direct fees that just chip away at you. You have your domain renewal every year.
Yep, $15 to $20 after that first free year.
And if you're selling anything, you can't escape those transaction fees. It's usually around, 2.9% plus 30 cents a sale?
That's the standard. But honestly, those little fees, they're nothing. They're a drop in the bucket compared to the real cost, the one they never, ever advertise.
The cost of your time.
That is the hidden killer. And we ask you to pause for a second and think about what your time is actually worth. If you're a plumber, a therapist, you're a skilled professional, every hour you spend fighting with a website is an hour you are not billing a client.
And the data shows most of these DIY sites take, at a minimum, 20 to 40 hours just to launch.
That's just to get it live. That's setting up the pages, fiddling with the template so it doesn't look cheap, finding images, wrestling with the forms. It's a huge time sink.
So if we're conservative and say your time is worth $50 an hour,
which for most business owners is low.
Very low. But even then, you've already sunk $1,000 to $2,000 of your own lost revenue into this cheap website.
Yeah.
And that's before it's ever made you a single penny.
And before you factor in all the hours you'll spend every month being your own IT department when something breaks.
So it really only makes sense if you, genuinely love building websites, or you have 30 plus hours you can't monetize otherwise.
Exactly. For a serious Central Coast business, the DIY route is a $2,000 time commitment pretending to be a $17 subscription.
Okay, so you fight off that siren song. The next logical step, for many, is hiring a specialist. That brings us to option 2, the unpredictable world of the freelance web designer.
Right. You find a local person here in Arroyo Grande or Pismo thinking you'll get professional results, but without that big agency price tag.
And what does that typically look like up front?
It's a significant investment. For a basic 5-page site, you're probably looking at $1,500 to $4,000. If you need something more custom, special scheduling or something, it can easily be $3,000 to $8,000 up front.
Which, on the surface, doesn't sound terrible. You pay once, you get a professional site. Isn't $4,000 better than losing $2,000 of your time and still having a clunky website?
It looks better on paper, but here's the catch. And this is a massive vulnerability for a small business.
Okay.
You're essentially on your own the moment that initial invoice is paid.
Meaning their job is done at launch. They're not invested in the long-term success.
Precisely. Freelancers sell a block of time to build a thing. Once it's built, you now own it. You are 100% responsible for it. Security updates, backups, plug-in issues, that's all on you.
And if you don't know how to do any of that, you're calling them back.
Yes, and that's when the hourly billing starts. $50 to $150 an hour for a small change. But the real danger, the one we hear about all the time, is when they just disappear.
They get busy, they move on.
They get a bigger client, they change careers, and suddenly you're stuck. You have a website, and you have nobody to call when the inevitable happens.
The inevitable being, it breaks.
Exactly. Your site goes down at 4 p.m. on a Friday. Think of a busy vet clinic in Santa Maria. They are now spending their weekend frantically trying to reach one person who might just be unreachable. Every hour that site is down is lost business. Massive stress.
So the true cost here isn't the money, it's the risk. The lack of guaranteed support.
That's it. It's a huge, unpredictable risk.
Which naturally leads us to option 3, the web design agency. This is for businesses that decide, okay, I need a team, I need that guaranteed support, and I'm willing to pay for it.
Agencies give you structure, process, quality control, huge advantages, but that all comes with premium pricing that reflects their overhead.
So what's a real number for a small business site from a competent local agency?
You're likely starting at $5,000 to $10,000. For anything complex like e-commerce, it can easily hit $20,000 or more, just for the upfront build.
And with an agency, unlike the others, the ongoing costs are not optional. They are baked into the deal.
Yes. You have to budget for a maintenance retainer.
Yeah.
And that's a big expense. We're talking $100 to $500 a month.
And what does that actually buy you?
It's not just hosting. It's security patching, daily backups, licenses for premium software. And this is critical, making sure that after an update, all the different parts of your site still work together and don't break.
So you're paying a high monthly fee just to keep the lights on and keep it secure.
Correct. And any changes you want to make. That's still billed hourly, usually $100 to $200 an hour.
Wow.
And here's the other big capital hit. Web technology changes so fast that you're looking at a major redesign every 3 to 5 years, which means another $5,000 to $15,000 just to stay current.
So we've laid out the 3 paths. DIY, which costs your time, freelancer, which is a huge risk, and the agency, which is stable but very expensive. Let's zoom out like we promised. What does this really cost a business over 5 years?
That's the only way to look at it, the total cost of ownership. And you have to remember, no matter which path you take, you're paying somewhere between $500 to $3,000 a year just in maintenance, security, and updates. It's just the cost of doing business online now.
So let's run the numbers. 5 years, what does that DIY option, the one that started at $17 a month, actually cost?
Over 5 years, the DIY path with Wix or Squarespace comes in at approximately $9,600.
Wow, that's nearly $2,000 a year for a site you still have to manage and fix yourself. And a huge chunk of that, about $6,000, is the value of your own time. It's pure opportunity cost.
Right. Now, what about the freelancer? Over 5 years with the initial build, some hourly changes, and a likely mid-cycle redesign because you can't find them anymore. You're looking at around $13,250.
And the nature of that cost is just pure unpredictability. You pay a chunk up front, but the rest comes in these high-stress bursts when something breaks.
And finally, the agency. Because of that high initial cost and the consistent monthly retainers, the 5-year total is typically around $22,000.
$22,000. It's a massive capital commitment for a small business.
It is. The cost there is the sheer financial weight. You're paying for stability, but it's a very high price.
So when you look at it that way, it really shows this huge gap in the market, especially for businesses here on the Central Coast.
It really does. The low-cost option isn't low cost, the mid-range option isn't secure, and the high-end option is just out of reach for most.
So you're forced into a painful compromise.
Every single path forces you to sacrifice something critical. You sacrifice your time, you sacrifice your security, or you sacrifice tens of thousands of dollars. Most businesses just need something professional that works without the massive upfront risk or the constant headache.
That's the core realization. The traditional market forces you to choose between being a stressed-out web developer or paying huge agency fees.
And we just believe that small business owners here in SLO County deserve a better option,
Yeah.
something that finally closes that gap.
That's the quick tip for today. If you want a professional website without the agency price tag or the DIY headache, here's the better way. At ugrow.pro, we build it, we manage it, and we handle every update forever for just $79 a month.
And let me just emphasize what that means. There is zero setup fee, no contract, and it is strictly month to month, so there is zero risk. We're local here in AG, and we can have you live in days, not months.
Want to see what your site could look like? Go to ugrow.pro right now, and we'll design 3 custom mockups for your business. Completely free, no strings attached.
Thanks for listening, and keep growing.